Good morning, everybody. It is Tammy coming to you live from my office today in Farmville, Virginia on August the 4th. It is Sunday sermon. We are back in action. I know we've had a little hiatus. And as you jump on here today, because this is more fun with friends, I know it's going to take a minute for the algorithm to pop me into where you are because, again, I'm live in a bunch of places and I have not been live in quite a while. I am live on my personal page. I'm live in Heart of Virginia Hydros page. I'm live on the Hometown Hippie page. I'm live on the Grateful Fed page. I'm live on the YouTube channel. So I'm pretty much live across the board. So again, say hello. Tell us where you're watching from. Drop us a Grateful Fed. When you jump on, this is like comments are going to help keep the energy up. I know that I have been a little MIA from all my kind of social media lives. It has been a really hectic couple of months. Very differently. I don't know. It's been a weird couple of months. And I have felt like I just did not have the energy to be able to pour into my live streams. And as such, I decided that I just would not be doing this for a little while. I needed to take a break from all of it. And I did that. And I am motivated to move back into Sunday sermons because not only have I been getting messages from you all that you miss me, I'm going to be honest, I have missed you all. Look here who's popping in. I haven't talked to Miss Norma Jean from Abilene in a second. We got Heather Johns from Saginaw, Michigan. We've got Norma Jean from Farmville, Virginia. And I'm sure if you guys can help me share this out to the Healing Haven page to get a few more folks over here, tag some friends in the comments, it would really help us out. If you have never tuned in before, because I have been gone for a while, maybe you're a new follower or you're a new, you just kind of like popped along, like, what is going on? I don't know what this Sunday sermon is. My name is Tammy Nelson. I am lovingly known as the Hometown Hippie here in Farmville, Virginia. I do this. I used to do this every Sunday, but we're starting a fresh new series of Sunday sermons starting August 4th, 2024. And it's the new moon today, so that's exciting for manifesting the things you want. There's a lot of things out in the universe that are happening. Mercury retrograde, the Lions Gate portal, and if all this sounds like craziness to you, stick around. It's not as crazy as you think, I promise. Hello, and as I said, it is way more fun with friends. So as you jump on here, please say hello. Tell us where you're watching from, and then if you'd like to, you can also, if you see over here, hang on, I can't ever do this right. It also says drop us a Grateful Fed in the comments, kind of like Heather just did. And hello, Katie Shaw. I've missed you so much from down in Florida. And again, like I said, I do come live on Sundays. We're starting a new series, and it's just one of those like motivational talks. I always say that what I do for these sessions, and normally sometimes I have a little, the last couple of times that I have been live, I've really gone and written a little script for it, tried to stay succinct and to the point. And that was because I was not able to be open enough to like kind of like say, hey, God, what is the testimony that you want me to bring today? And so what I want you to understand is that even if I wasn't here, I was still within integrity, because the honest to goodness truth was, how many of you have ever went through a phase where you just did not feel connected to the divine? You did not feel the connection. You did not feel the comfort of God, source, universe, whatever words you use. Again, we don't yuck anybody's yum. I call it Sunday sermon because I come here on Sunday mornings. And people used to say that, preach, girl, and take them to church. So we called it Sunday sermon. But what I tell people is this, is that I believe in the Christ consciousness. I believe in living my life in a way in which that would honor that which Jesus Christ walked this earth to do, right? He said to love, to be good to your neighbor, to spread kindness. I don't subscribe or prescribe to any specific religion. And I'm just honest about that. And I want to be as authentic as my food, is what I used to always say. And I feel like I've gotten out of alignment with that because I was so afraid to be my true authentic self, because I was trying to be what everybody in the world wanted me to be. Can anybody relate to that? Can I get a hallelujah and amen? If you have walked in this world and at times you did not feel like you had a connection to your soul. I say my soul because I feel like my soul is of God. This is just a body that, I'm in for this lifetime, but that the part of me that lives and breathes and thinks and makes my heart beat and is the essence of who I am is the part of me which God gave me, which is my soul. I've been floaty. Heather says, I've been floaty myself, just kind of existing. It's hard to pour to others when your life is consuming yourself. I'm tired. I'm slow. I'm just fuzzy. That is probably the most accurate description of how I have been living my life since. And I'm going to be really transparent with you all. I have really been out of alignment and out of integrity in myself with some things since probably the end of last year. 2024 has been 2024 has been an amazing learning experience. Has been an amazing. That's how I'm gonna. It's not really been amazing, but it has been definitely a much needed opportunity, right? And when I say the words that I'm saying, like if I would have come on here live a couple of weeks ago, I would have been crying and saying 2024 is kicking my ass. 2024 is a shit show. 2024 can go suck a bag of you-know-whats. I just was not able to do the thing that I know to do, which is to stop, notice, feel the feeling, process through the feeling, and move past it, right? I know how to do those things. That is like, kind of like, you know what you're supposed to do, but sometimes your emotional body does not allow you to do what your mental body knows that needs to be done, right? And since last year, I have really been feeling some kind of disconnection way. And I was of the mindset for most of this year and the end of last year for sure of fake it till you make it. I'm like, I'll be fine. Everything's fine. I'm going to just keep pushing through. And I talk about this all of the time. I used to talk about this all the time. So if you're new, maybe the first time you're hearing it, but let's talk about that, right? Pushing and forcing and trying to, and I just gotta, and should have done this and I should have done that. That is force versus power, right? And I want to stand in my power and reclaim my power and not try to make something happen, right? Ebb and flow. Like flow is to stay in flow and allow the things that are happening from the universe. Like I just kind of like think of like the energy of the world. Like I bring in energy balls is what I've been trying to do lately. I just kind of harnessing that energy. If you're watching me, I'm going to encourage you right now is to take a big deep breath in and exhale. But I want you to just start thinking about like the air is energy, your auric field or your energy around you. And I want you to really start moving your hands and kind of like, just kind of some kind of way, like you're trying to like, imagine that the air around you is like a big ball and you're trying to kind of like gather it all up and create a ball with it. This is like, you can make the energy however you want to. And I have found myself just trying to create that and I can feel it. You can push it through, you can put it to where you need it to go. And so I encourage you to do that because it's going to help you to feel the energy. Because if you don't believe in God energy or life force energy, doing this exercise will actually make you feel the electricity and the ionic composition of your air when you try to gather it. And you can feel it. Your hands will feel like it gets harder to do these things. And when I had you do this for this reason, right, is because energy is never ending. You can't destroy energy. Good morning, Melanie Lewis. Oh my gosh, so good to see you. And so what I've been trying to do is I was like, what is going on with this energy around me? Why is my energy so weird? Why do I feel awful? And I started remembering that, you can't destroy energy. Energy is ever changing. It can be transmuted. So if you have these feelings like I've had over the last forever of just disconnection, of disgust, of depression, of anxiety, of not feeling good enough, right? Of trying to force things to happen, trying to push through things and not standing in your power. What I want you to do first, what I did first and foremost to kind of break this funky cycle, right, was to ask for the energy to be pushed back through the core of the earth. That I brought a cleansing white light energy in. I do it constantly. It's like a grounding energy, and just to have it push all of this energy that's not serving me anymore. Right? I said, this energy is not serving me anymore. How do I cut the ties of this energy? And what I did was I kind of made my energy ball, and I was like, let me throw any of this bad energy, let me just scoop it up and throw it to like the universal garbage tin, but ask for the universe to take that energy that is no longer serving me, that is no longer, I was like, God, these feelings, these things that are no longer serving me. I went to prayer, right? I say that prayer is speaking to God and asking God to help. And then meditation is stopping and listening. And God gives you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You're supposed to listen twice as much as you speak. So I give gratitudes to God daily. I probably give twice as many gratitudes as I should, not as I should. I give gratitudes. But as far as my asking for, I try to say, here's the thing that I need. God, I need your help with this. And then I stop and I take time to listen and meditate and to be in nature and to say, to notice the things that God, the universe, the source has given to us, right? To help us to do just that thing. Sometimes when I'm feeling very low, good morning from crew. I'm going to say hi to a few people. We'll get back into this. I hate getting sidetracked, so I'm trying to stay on point. But we have Melanie Lewis joining us from Cartersville. She has not been on in a while, right? She said, I had a chance. She's been a long time. We've missed her too. And Melanie, we've been gone. So you have not missed as much as you think, because I have not been live for quite a while. And then we have Elizabeth Clark, who I got to see on Friday, joining us from Crew, Virginia. So it's great to see Elizabeth here. Y'all send some love out to Elizabeth. She's been going through some medical stuff just on the back end, and we're going to hold some space that everything is wonderful and well for her. But back to the energy thing, right? So I asked God, I was like, God, I need you to help me because I don't have the strength to do it myself. And until I took that opportunity to stay in prayer, to ask for that help, right? To ask for that help, I was trying to force something that wasn't working. Right? I was living in my own misery. I was the cow chasing the storm and not the buffalo running towards it. I was doing all of the things, right, that my mind knew that was not going to be any kind of benefit to me. But every single one of us, no matter how long we've been in our spirituality, into our practice, into our religion, whatever you want to call it, again, we don't yuck anybody's yum. Right? We believe that love is a universal religion. Love is love and light, and to the highest and best of all concerned, and to the harm of none. Right? And over the last about half a year now, or even about 6 months, because we're more than 6 months. So we're the 8th month into this year. And I'm going to say probably right after my birthday last year, I started really falling down. And I was not honest with each and every one of you. And the more I tried to smile through it and pretend and be something that I wasn't, and let things happen around me that I knew was not the right thing to be happening around me, and ignoring all of the obvious signs and all of my intuition, all of the things that I knew, that I felt that I didn't trust my own self, that I allowed to happen. And then I got into this place of, it was all my own fault. So let me figure out a way to kind of build my way out of it. And the more spaghetti I threw against the wall, the less stuff that stuck, right? And I really had to have a come to Jesus. And really, I say this, I believe that nothing happens everything happened like it was supposed to. But since the beginning of this year, I have truly felt like every person that I loved that was part of my business, including some of my, Red left to take the job in Maryland. Amy is gone officially now to Chesterfield, or to Short Pump. Grace, Liz, Selena's gone. Leslie's gone. Just everybody, it's just all of it. It's just everybody had to go do their thing. And, oh no, she's in Tampa today versus Cartersville. Okay, Florida. We're going to hope that you can get home safely, and that everything works out to your highest and best. And I started being as self-fulfilling prophecy. And I want you all to hear my words. I want to be a tale of a cautionary tale. And I'm going to tell you the truth of the matter is that I had to unpack, and I talk about, and if you're not many people are new here watching, most everybody here has heard these things before and know what this story is. And if you have not, please go back and watch the hours and hours of these. I believe there's some good messages in there. People wouldn't still be showing up. I have been going through a phase where God said to me, you have to heal. Like this, I talked about when you're walking down life's path, God will put things in your path that you have to resolve or heal or deal with, right? We call them like the tree limb in the road, and versus stepping over to walking around it, picking it up and handling it. And then you go down the road. If you ignore it, then you have this tree. You have to actually cut the tree up to move it. You get to a place where like the entire path is blocked by either like some kind of dam or something large that you have to really work to heal through. I have been doing that, and I talk about it, but going through it is a lot. And I think that my and today I'm going to be 100% really, 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 really raw with y'all. And I'm going to share some really personal things. And it's very vulnerable for me. And I'm really nervous about it because I spent the last so many months trying to guard everything because I felt like I was in the position I was because I shared everything. Like there was no secrets in my life. But what this shadow phase, and shadow phase is what I say when I talk about a time of the dark. I had gone into the dark after this winter solstice, and I'm like, oh, it all was happening like it was supposed to, but I just, it was just really hard this past year, to the point where what I realized is that I found zero amount of self-worth just for being, just Tammy Sue Deskins Nelson. I felt that I was completely nothing without a vocation or without being of service to in some way. So I felt like unless I was a successful business person and I was providing a service that everyone wanted, that none of you liked me or none of you cared about me or none of you wanted to be around me. It was only if I was providing a service. Like I felt very transactional, and it was nothing that anyone did but myself. But I felt like every relationship in my entire life was transactional, and that there was no authentic love. And therefore, as my business started to kind of fail, right? Not really fail, but not, we were not as busy as we wanted to be. We were not, and I'll be honest, like I felt like I was paying for friends. And God broke it down, and God has crumbled my world to help me understand that. And it's funny because I have been doing sessions with one of my very best friends who is my Reiki master healer. And I had this thing above my desk forever in a session when I was really starting to kind of go through this. And she said to me, she's like, what happens if you fail? And I was like, that can't happen. Like I will fail. Like, I don't know that I would be able to stay on this planet if this failed. Like I would just die. I would die a slow death. Like the failure of that, I felt like was the failure of me. And she's like, and that's what you got to unpack. And that's the core of what we're working on in these sessions, is that you have to cut the cord. And it's so deep within me. Like we pulled stuff out of my body that was like sludge, just like this sludge stuff. And when I tell you, if you don't believe that the things that you do in your spiritual practice, your emotional body, when I say dis-ease is dis-ease in your body, if you do not believe that what you feel inside, like the cortisol level, stress, all those things do not affect your physical body, then you need to stay here and listen, because I'm telling you it does. I believe, and this is my belief system, right, that we all have a holy trinity within our. There's a holy trinity of humanity, and that by becoming within integrity of your holy trinity and honoring your personal, I don't want to talk about this I know it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, this is me being me. I'm going to be authentic as I can be from now on. I'm not holding it back. The people that are meant to be around are going to stay, and the people that aren't, they are not for me. And I'm okay with that now. I wasn't, but I am. And the way that God explained this to me in my journaling and in my messaging, and God speaks to every person in this world differently. Can I get a hallelujah, amen on that? How many people believe that every person's path with their divine is specifically a personal path with their creator? And what God came to me, and what God and I have talked about, and what and praying, asking for, and in meditation listening to, the mind, body, and soul, right? Your emotional body, your physical body, and your spiritual body create your Holy Trinity. And the way in which you honor God is that you love yourself as you love God, and you see God in everyone else. I see the divinity in you, like the namaste, right? The divine in me recognizes the divine in you. And when Carly's like, how come everybody else matters but you don't? Why do you love Heather Johns just because Heather Johns walks this planet and breathes? Why do you love Elizabeth Clark? Because you love them. Are they no value to you unless they're? I was like, no, I don't care if they ever buy anything again, but I love them. She's like, well, why do you believe that they don't love you for the same reasons? And I was like, because I don't know why. I don't love myself. And that was the key. I could look myself in the mirror and say I love you, but was I walking the walk or just talking the talk? And when I say I figured out how out of integrity I was when I had to go back to my practice and say I love you, and I'm like, but I love you because? No, I love you. I love you is a complete sentence. And just like when you're with a partner, or maybe how many people have been in a relationship where they were dead in love? They were head over heels in love. But 5 years later, they weren't. They didn't like the person. They didn't want to see the person. That relationship went down the drain. How many people have had an old relationship? I've had ex-boyfriends that I said the word I love you to. My first love. I thought it was if I would have fallen, I was in love with my first love. Like, my heart will tell you right now, like, that was the first person that I thought at 16 and 14, thought I was going to marry. Right? And I didn't. I don't not love them anymore, but I don't, I fell out of love, right? That can happen. Who believes that you can just, oh, okay, like I thought that was love, but it wasn't. I very much was doing that to myself, right? I love you, I love you, I love you, but I wasn't treating myself like something I loved. Whenever, and then God said to me, it's like, that's the homeostasis. That's the endocannabinoid system. That's the thing that I brought you to and you lost sight of. And I was like, holy shit. And then, I have been working through all of this, right? And the entire reason I started this was plants over pills. And when I talk about being outside of my integrity, I believe 100% that this last chapter before I turned 50 was I have been going through what they call egoic death. My ego on every level has been destroyed. I mean, destroyed. And I don't know if anybody else in here can say that they've really gone through and kind of ascended through that egoic death. Has anybody gone through that process of the dying of the ego, which is basically the breaking of that old pattern in you? That personality body just gets crushed. I'm going to tell you, there's been some big eye-opening things, and I can say these things out loud. I made that post yesterday in all my groups because, I have been just miserable in myself, and therefore I exude that. Your ego is a part of you. You grieve just like, and I have been. And a lot of what this whole past summer, I mean, I'm going to tell y'all, I told a story about 2019 before everything kind of crashed. I was at the heaviest I've ever been. I was miserable in every part of my life. I was sick all of the time. And I had that Captain Dan, like, either get busy living or go ahead and be done with it. And the last several months, I had another one of those kind of moments where I was like, I don't care if you take me. Just, I don't want to be alive anymore. And those moments are very scary to me because I know, right, that suicide or hurting yourself is very much a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And I am very, very much someone who asks for help and all. But I said to my sister and my husband, I was like, look, I'm having intrusive thoughts that I'm not going to go take a bottle of pills. I was like, but I don't care if the doctor said that you have 2 months to live. I would be like, sweet, I'm done. Like, I'm ready for the next time this goes through. And that's as raw. I mean, I hate that. It was not good. It was not a good time. And when I really got down to Amy said, because this is happening, like, she's like, I want you to think how crazy that sounds. And I told her, I was like, you and Red and Daddy are the things. Like, I know I would not want to hurt them. The three of them I know, and I was like, I wouldn't do it to y'all. I was like, but the only reason I don't want to like anything to happen is because I love y'all enough not to make y'all go through it. And man, the integration of like the energy that came through whenever I really had to I said, I've just got to feel my feelings. I'm not going to be live anymore. I don't know where things are going to be. And then God said, your joy is your magic, Tammy. That's what God, in my journal, it's a big thing. It says, and God literally spoke to me, says, Tammy, you have to find your joy. We're going to find your joy. Your joy is your magic. And when you're joyful, you're magical. So what brings you joy? You didn't do this to be miserable. You didn't do any of these things to be miserable. You did this because it brought you so much joy that your cup overflowed, and you wanted to pour that joy and that into other people. And what I forgot to do was to bring in that God energy and to give it to God and say, God, I don't have the energy to pour into others, but I am going to accept your grace and your love, and I'm going to live in a way that allows my example to be the pouring into, right? To love my neighbors as myself, to treat everyone with kindness and respect, to be patient and to not gossip and to not be cruel. And I'm telling you what, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And sometimes I get into a thinking thing and I go to myself and I am my own worst company. And so what I reminded myself of is I know who I am in truth. I know why who I am, what I am, how I serve in truth, and I am free. And if everything tomorrow went away and I had to go get a job working at the McDonald's saying, thank you, have a nice day, right? I don't believe that lessens who I am as a person because of my vocation. And I would not ever be able to say that 6 months ago. I truly believed, and I had to really unpack a lot of childhood, not childhood trauma, I don't know what to call it that, but like, just things that I've picked up along the way. And I feel like we unpeel the onion and we deal with the layers as we can deal with them. So sometimes we deal with the branch when it's in our way, right? And I felt like I was really doing this work, and I was reminded that you are. But sometimes this universe, God, source, only allows you to handle the part of that trauma or that part of that thing that you are ready to handle. So you start unpacking it. But a lot of these bigger things, like the ego stuff, we have to kind of deal with. So if you're out there and you're like, I don't know why this won't break. I'm telling you, it's a pattern, and it's not a pattern, but it's a thing. So maybe you deal with something in the way that you can because of what you know, and then you get more information and you get stronger, and you can deal with the next thing. And then there's some more parts of it you really got to get to the nitty gritty of. But God needs you to be able to take it slow and steady, and allow the ebbs and allow the flows and allow yourself the grace you need, because I was reminded about when the first thing I was like, what can I control? I can control how my body feels, right? So in 2019, the first thing that I did is I started treating my physical body correctly. And that's what we're going to start doing now, right? And I've been saying this and saying this and saying this, but fear of failure, fear of people not accepting my business plan, my business model, caused me to move into things that really were not within my integrity, right? So that being said, that's the first thing that, I started doing. I was like, I can control what I put into my body to make it feel good. And then when I did that, I was able to handle some things, right? And then I started working with my spiritual body and then my mental body. And so as we do that, we grow and we expand. And then, as we grow and expand, we're able to then deal with more and more of it. So over the last several years, I guess I've just been unpacking this and realizing that there's value in me. Whether I'm sitting on my couch doing nothing or running a marathon, and there's the same within you. So if you're somebody out there who doesn't believe that you deserve love, who doesn't believe that unless you do, it's a tit for tat or a quid pro quo, I want you to really take some time out from that. And I really want you to sit with it and figure out where that's coming from, right? Where is that coming from? Just a suggestion. Again, one of the things that's come out of this new, I call it the rising of my phoenix, right? I go through these phoenix rising moments, is that I know that I need to be within integrity with mind, body, and soul. I want to honor my divine. I want to honor God through the way that I live and the way that I treat my body that it gave me. So physical body, emotional body, and mental body, right? Those are the things that I'm trying to get into alignment to make my holy trinity, to be able to, reach out and not reach out. I'm not using the right words today. To be able to I guess for my light to shine the brightest, when those things are in alignment, I feel like that's when I'm giving God the most glory. Does that make sense? Can I have a yes or no? Does that make sense? So that being said, as you all know, Heart of Virginia Hydro has closed. It was closed August 1st. We have some remaining inventory. Hometown Hippie Healing Haven is rocking and rolling in its new format. That is going to it's going to continue to evolve into what it needs to be, and I'm okay with it. I never wanted to gatekeep, and I don't plan to gatekeep what we do. The state of Virginia is gatekeeping, I guess you would say. And as such, we are going to really move into that private healing practice, private club, which we already have. That is what that is, right? The Grateful Fed Catering Company is rocking and rolling. That is where my energy needs to be. And that is what I'm focused on. I am working with individual clients moving into the end of the year. We're just kind of getting some inventory moved out. But with the Hometown Hippie Healing Haven, some of the things we're doing. But January is going to look a lot different for that. And I'm hoping to be in a position to be able to really focus my energies on it's going to move into more of a private workshop. That's my retreat business. That's going to be our retreat situation. We're going to do 2 retreats a year with the Healing Haven. It's going to be about education, about spirituality, about using cannabis and other natural herbs as medicine. There's going to be classes on homesteading and urban homesteading in the retreats. It's going to be about like a hippie retreat, right? It's going to be more about getting back to nature. There's going to be classes on canning and preserving foods, and there'll be local farmers that I'm hoping to bring in to talk about where you can buy beef shares if you don't have land to put like farm animals and stuff. That's the Healing Haven. But for that to be in integrity, the Grateful Fed Catering Company is also going to be doing our bistro and our food planning things. And we're working through August. We're working through our current food inventory. Like we got French fries in the freezer and onion rings and things like that. We are working through that. And then starting in September 1, we're going to have an entirely new menu for our bistro menu, which will be out of here. Since we're selling the truck, the Sugar Magnolia is going to its forever home. Hopefully, if anybody out there is interested in buying a food truck, let me know. We got people looking at it, but I really want that to go find its forever home. And I'll probably do a little blessing on it today. So if y'all can help me hold space for that. But once we get through the inventory, so once we're on the French fries are not coming back on the menu. I am going to really go back into a more heart healthy, clean eating diet. I'm already a little bit, I believe all in moderation, but I am trying to portion control and think about whole foods. I'm not ketogenic. There's going to be some keto items. There's going to be fasting. I'm going to do all those things. But what we're going to provide here for people to purchase are going to be clean, whole, delicious menu items. There will also be some things, but we're going to be going away from French fries, onion rings. Our sides are going to all be like fresh fruit, some chips you can pick up. But there's going to be different types of things. And that's been within my integrity. And I went so far out of left field with my integrity of what my plan was, is that my idea was this, to do food differently and show people that you can eat healthy, deliciously. And I'm not a nutritionist, but we are going to show you that I don't use any preservatives. It's just a whole different ball of wax than what, I have been doing out of fear, because people like a steak and cheese sub, people like a hot dog. I'm like, well, they do, but it's not the best for them. And if I'm going to be in integrity with what my business model is, I'm going to be in integrity. And like Red said, fail on the idea that you wanted to do. Don't fail on somebody else's idea. And that was my biggest thing, is that I have been listening to everybody in the world. And I'm not saying they don't have great ideas, they don't have good information, but it's never been my business plan to sell anything and I did it. I did it myself. We had always had a plan of doing different, and we just kind of last year I was building the boat while I was sailing it. This year we're more in integrity. We're going to have prime rib. We're going to have fried chicken Friday, because again, everything in moderation. But my goal is not for you to just have fried chicken or a burger or a hot dog or any of those things. My goal is for you to be able to also treat your body like a temple. And that's what I'm going to start doing. And as such, the universe said to me, this was always, took me back to my business model, the D's, right? Decide, deliver, do, all those things. So that's what we're doing. We're going back into treating our bodies like temples and being integrity with what we do. The egoic death that have gone through over the last several months has been brutal, wrenching. I have lost people that either no longer align with me or I no longer align with them. Moving forward, all we can do is put one foot in front of the other. And I'm going to say this, I'm not making excuses. Right now, my goal right now is to be more present with my family and friends, be more in touch with, be able to, and not be just about the business of being married, but the actual being involved in the intimacy of. My sister says all the time, like, thank you for, we do things together. I'm a big sister, but she taught me so much over this last year on how to, she's like, I deserve to be loved the right way. I'm really proud of that she's in and where she's at in her life. And as much as I'm sad for me, I'm very happy for her. But I also want to honor, like, my mom would be so happy, right? And Amy's like, mom wants you to be happy too. And so I am really honoring that. Red and I have a date planned for next weekend. We have not gone out on a date, and he did it. Local play by the Waterworks players. It's 5 women wearing the same dresses. Many of our Trippy Hippie members are either involved somehow. So Lee Lunsford is the director, and she is well known in Farmville. She's amazing. She and her husband Marcus eat with us at the Sugar Magnolia and the Grateful Fed, and just all around great people. And so she's the director. And then Melissa, who's a member of Trippy Hippie, a lot of you saw her the other week when we had our first little meeting together. She's phenomenal. She's hilarious. I've known Melissa for quite a while. She will help us get our Grateful Fed church up and running, right? She's all about that with our she's all about it. I want to go and support them, and I have not done that. We're like a sponsor for the Waterworks players, and every time I'm like, I want to come see you act, and I haven't done it yet. Well, Red's taking me out on Saturday night. We're going to go see the last show, and we're going to go out to a really nice dinner here locally. There's a restaurant house called Taproot Tavern. So he's going to take me out. He's like, hey, let's go out to dinner at Taproot and let's go see that play you wanted to see on Saturday night. So I'm really excited for that. I really missed him, and I think that absence does make the heart grow fonder, because he has been traveling for work during the weeks and comes home on the weekends, and we really enjoy each other. And that has been a great change over the last couple of months. Norma Jean, she's she's up here. I talked to William. He comes in and gets all Norma Jean's things for her. But Norma Jean's here. Norma Jean, say hi to Catherine. She's been checking on you. Norma Jean's doing okay, I guess. I don't think she's hurt anything in a while. Last time she thought her cord on her computer was a snake and broke her leg or twisted her ankle. So we always got to keep an eye on Norma Jean, and all of us are kind of sometimes falling apart, aren't we? All of that being said, to say this. Thank you all for your words, because it was the people who showed up having one of my meltdowns, and the love I felt from Candy and Elizabeth and Mimi and Melissa, and my brain's about half shot, y'all. Everybody that was here that surrounded me with love. It's like, hey, get your shit together because we love you. We need you. And so I want to thank you for that. I want to thank the community and as a whole, even the folks that, are Red's customers from Heart of Virginia Hydro, if you're watching this. And I know a lot of you guys are knowing. I started talking about chakras and Moongate, Lionsgate portals, and your mind, body, soul is your Holy Trinity. I know a lot of y'all maybe went away, but if you're still here watching, I want you guys to know we've really enjoyed you being a part of our tribe here at the store. Things may look different from a dollars and cents standpoint of what we're doing, but at the end of the day, I'm still me, and these messages still matter. I didn't have a clue exactly what was going to be said today. I know that I wanted to share what's going on. And so right before we came on here, I was like, all right, I just kind of ionized the air. I did a little smudging. I was like, okay, God. It's like, I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm not going to try to force any message. I'm just going to allow whatever flows to flow today. If it was a little less succinct, a little bit all over the place, this is more of who I am authentically, I guess, and I'm going to lean into who I am. I have been very reluctant about, I've been trying to guard myself and try to be the right person in the right room, but I have decided that I am going to walk this earth, right? Walk this earth as the joyful being that I am, and I'm going to be authentic. I'm Tammy. I am I am a crazy hippie girl who struggles with mental health problems from time to time and gets depressed and anxiety and plans to go places and do things, and then the last minute can't get out of the house because I get so upset and I can't do it. I'm working on that to be able to show up and be present. I am struggling with my business right now. The economy is kind of wonky and weird, and I'm very embarrassed about that, but I have been struggling to keep the doors open. And I'm so grateful for the community who has made sure that my fall, this calendar moved up here so I've got things going on. This is my workspace. Creative spiritual space, because I figured that was kind of like, hey, I have to separate the two. Who I is not just, this is my job. This is my vocation, right? This is my job. And then who I am individually is something else. And then I was trying, this is the truth of the matter, trying to align when I am the brand, right? Like, but you're not. You have a catering business. Your food is the brand. You can be separate from your business. So I'm working on that. I'm so grateful for my community who has really helped to make sure that they let me know. And my dad said something a couple of weeks ago. He's like, you don't have a business problem. You have a cash flow problem. And as many of you know, I didn't have the credit to go to a bank to get a business loan to start this. I didn't even have a business plan. Like, I'm going to be honest. I just thought I knew the things you had to do, but I didn't have any projections or any of that. And so I just took my entire life savings into renting a building, buying a food truck, and paying people to come work. And we have been figuring it out as we go. And some things are going to have to fall apart because I can't do all the things I was doing. So as of September 1, August 1, your friend, your crazy girl that comes on here, I am a level 2 Reiki healer who has a part-time healing business right now. I'm hoping that gets bigger in January. And then I own a catering business. And that's what I'm going to sorry, my hair is so hot, y'all. That is who I am. But I want to just thank y'all for surrounding me with love and loving me, for me and not for what I can do or who I am. And the people that only love me for what I can do or the business stuff, then they're business acquaintances. And that's okay too. right? And that's okay too. There are people who are our clients that are not family, and I have to stop trying to, I've done my homework. I know I got to stop doing, but I just want to thank everyone for their support. I want to thank everyone for always, giving me good encouragement and pats on the back and all the things. And even for the ones who may have been haters, thank you for the motivation to say, hey, not everything is for everybody. And two things can be true. But, as someone who wants to be authentically themselves, I also use cannabis every day in every way for my wellness. And as such, I am not going to be embarrassed anymore. It is a plant that God put on this planet. I understand that, there's people who don't agree with that. They think it's drugs, and that's fine. But if you're calling mine drugs, I want you to look in your medicine cabinet and tell me what drugs you're on. Because if you're taking Ozempic or metformin, or, we're all on, there's all medicine. That's all drugs, right? It's all medicine. And I believe that cannabis is medicine. And I am not here to judge on how you use your medicine, but I will be offering it as medicine for it. Good morning. I don't believe that it is it's holistic. And I have, like, this last couple, my reel and my stuff, I have really been leaning into I'm a forever student, and I'm going to spend the next several months until in January with that side of the business. That I'm really just kind of, I don't know how it's going to look at the end. Right now, some things percolate. And just like with Grateful Fed, I have some things percolating. We're going to go into our, starting in September, we're going to do Wednesday night dinners. We're going to do Friday night special dinners. We're going to do our prime rib again. We're going to do a fried chicken Friday once in a while. We're going to do a seafood once in a while. And then as it feels right, and when we have space to do it, I'm not going to hold myself to any of it. I will announce it and let people know. We are, however, working on a website that is going to be above and beyond what we've done in the past. And it's really going to allow us to be the business we want it to be and it not be confusing to y'all. Right. So the Grateful Fed stuff is happening. I'm live everywhere. This Sunday sermon is more of a just uplifting message. I do touch on some of these business things because some of you are here for the business stuff. I don't want to negate that. But God gave me a platform for a reason. And I tend to use it for the highest and best of myself and all of you. So Sunday sermons are around. They're back. They're here to stay. Today was just kind of a jumbled up mess telling you all the crazy stuff. I do want to work on being more succinct in my messaging and not umming and awing so much. Today was very much like, hey, we're back. I just need y'all to see my face. I need to see you showing up. I want to tell you I love you and I appreciate you. I'm going to encourage you all, right? I'm going to encourage everybody that if you are feeling not yourself, if you're feeling disconnected, if you're feeling sad and down, to reach out to community. Maybe it's you have a church you attend. Maybe it's a club that you're a part of. Maybe it's this Trippy Hippie group and an online community or another online community that you are connecting with. Don't try to do it alone. Part of what the devil or darkness or, the lesser than light, things are opposite of light, which is dark, evil, right? Bad things. Some of what that like lower vibrational stuff can seep in because it keeps us separate. And the more I've been separate from you all, the darker I have gotten into. And I recognize that when I went all into my own, the ego and that personality body and those lower vibration things kind of really pulled me down, and I just could not get myself out of it. And what broke this cycle was our first in-person meeting and then our Zoom meeting with Trippy Hippie Club. It really made a huge difference for me. And I needed that, right? And so if you're out there and you're doing this alone, I'm going to really encourage you, please don't. Please find a place to lean into. Another thing that I did that same week we had the Zoom and the meeting is that I was talking to Melissa DeMarco, who's also a member of our Trippy Club. And I said, hey, girls, let's go to dinner. Let's me and you go to dinner. We're just going to go have dinner at Charlie's. Dutch treat, nobody's responsible for anybody else. Let's just go have a girls' night and just go do dinner on a Thursday. We went and I had an Angry Orchard, and she had, I think, a margarita, and we sat at Charlie's, and we had an appetizer, and then we got an entree. Both of us were laughing because we took our entrees home to eat when you could get a little stony and like take our bras off, right? And so I really enjoyed that. I'm going to try to do that more often, right? And I had, I'm really trying to be more present in real life. I want to be able to take time to go. Heather Johns drives to farm 3 or 4 or 5 times. I've never been to see her, right? I need to go visit Heather Johns, I need to be out and living life and not just acting like I don't live life here, right? So I'm going to encourage all of you all just to works for you, because it's not my place to tell you what works. Everyone's different. I bring the message that I am, I guess, or channel to bring, because this is all of God. Like I don't take any responsibility for this. And I think that what got me out of integrity was when I was trying to force things, is that I wasn't listening and I was trying to do it from me, and it just was not an integrity, right? I wasn't channeling, I wasn't connected. And so I want you all to know that no matter how dark it seems, like I literally was in a place of like complete darkness and destitute, and you can make the decision in an instant. Where your mind goes, your energy flows. So I want you to clear your minds, and I want you to know that you are amazing, you are loved, that you are valuable just as you are, for no other reason other than just breathing the air, and that you are Christ incarnate. All of us have a piece of God within us. We are all sons and daughters of God. No matter what your religion is, we all believe that there's divinity within us, and that God has given us that soul, that piece of us that is a part of God. And I'm going to start living from the soul. I'm trying to live from the soul. Every day I'm getting better at living from the soul, because our words matter, and it's just how we perceive things, And so I decided to kind of start changing my perception. I've been leaning in. Like I have not only leaned into in person, more like in talking to everybody here. I also have been showing up to a local service club that I joined, the Rotary, and enjoyed the Rotarians. And I feel so terrible because every time we've had a service project, I've either like had a medical situation or had something like to work to do. Hoping to be able to really lean into more of the service projects with the Rotary, as well as the fellowship with them. We all need friends. And I tended to, I cried to my sister. I was like, I don't have any friends. Nobody to go do things with. She's like, that's your own fault. And I'm like, you're exactly right. Right. So again, that's the other thing. If you're not changing it, you're choosing it. And I'm no longer choosing to be sad. I'm no longer choosing to be in a darkness. I am choosing to find my joy again, because joy is magic, and it's a higher vibration feeling. And I want to thank everyone who's helped pull me into that. So as we're ending the live today, we've got about 7 minutes, because I do want to say under an hour. We're going to pull our weekly crystal card. This is our crystal affirmation card. This is going to give you a little message for the week from God, from Source. And then it's going to give you your affirmations and journal prompts for the week. So we're going to I'm asking God to bring in my angels, my guides, and my helpers, and I'm asking to be a clear and perfect channel for the message that I'm about to give. And for some reason, this card just keeps popping out at me. Ooh. Interesting. It is azurite. Azurite. Isn't that pretty? I have one of those. I have one of those stones at my house. Azurite. Get laser focused. So our card this week is azurite, and the message is to get laser focused. And it says, being laser focused. Okay, bring a laser focus to all areas of your life. If you direct your full attention to one thing at a time, you'll be more efficient and productive in everything you do. Life is busy, and it can pull you in many directions. Staying focused and disciplined can help you avoid pivoting towards unwelcoming distractions. You need to control where your mind goes, harness its power to bring awareness to your thoughts, and stay on track. And that not a I'm like, okay, I hear you. Like, I'm one business. I'm going down to one like business that I own. I'm going to call Healing Haven my side hustle, because that's the thing that I enjoy doing. But it's not the thing that I'm going to be making the most money at. Core questions. what does being focused look like to you? These are questions to put into your journals and answer for yourself this week. That's another thing. I am so grateful for all of you, but when I tell you I have filled up notebooks over the last couple of months, yeah, I need journals. Like I came in here and I'm like, holy mackerel. When I tell y'all, I'm not joking. Get into your journals. Y'all, this is just the last couple of months. And my notebooks, I have 3 at the house and I have 4 in my note and 4 in my bag. Get in your journals, okay? And this is a great opportunity. I'm going to do that this week. What does being laser focused look like to you? What areas of your life would benefit from more focused attention? Tell me this is not the thing we need to do this week. The thing that you need to focus on are these things. What do you need to focus on today, right? And these would be great all week long. Like, what do I need to focus on today? And like really like being intentional with every day. And then crystal action. This is your affirmation for the week. I harness the power of my attention to support my goals. Today, pick a single task and commit to finishing it before you begin the next. As you're right. Now, speaking of all of that, I also know that today is the new moon. It's the beginning of the month, so go online, see what little rituals and things stick out to you. Some in here, abundance manifestations, where you can draw the 8 because the month of August is a great manifesting money month. It's 8 for infinity. It's a great month it's a Leo. We've got the Lionsgate portal and the Mercury retrograde. So I'm going to tell you this, okay? With Mercury retrograde and the big energy going on, if you are dabbling and you're new in the whole spirituality thing, I want you to do this. I want you to be very specific and intentional with your, because Mercury retrograde can take I want more abundance. Take something that's very broad, to blah blah blah, and it can morph it, and it's like kind of like when you rub the genie lamp and you ask for 3 wishes, like be careful how you wish. Think of Mercury retrograde like the genie in the bottle, right? It's definitely wants the universe like, you're going to help you out, but we're going to throw a few little like loops and layups in your way. So be intentional with what you want and take deep breaths and really focus your energy. So that laser focus is probably a lot of that as well. Is a lot of reminding yourself to be very intentional, to be very laser focused, to pay attention, do one thing at a time. All right, I love you too. I will see you soon. We're going to get off of here. We're getting ready to end with what we always say, which we're going to end this live with telling you all thank you so much for tuning in, right? We want to thank you for watching. And then we want to end our live as we always do. And we will probably forever end our lives with our little call off because it's a thing we've been doing forever, right? This week, please be intentional. Please know that you are loved. If you're a part of the Trippy Hippie Club, you will be getting your newsletter tomorrow at 4:20 in the afternoon. As always, you're going to see some changes. Like I said, we've not had a lot of interest in a lot of the things we've been making, and we've not really been doing a lot of business on that side of the house. So I have to put my to do for my business for my vocation. Healing is going to be more of a side thing that I'm going to do for those folks that are, that's my community of spiritual love and my Reiki healing practice and all of that, and really focusing on our retreats, twice a year retreats, and our monthly workshops. And then working with people with individual needs. I appreciate you all for holding space for me when I wasn't able to hold it for myself. You have no idea. If you need catering, let us cater to you. Please let people know about us. That's the way that we spread our message. I am going to be running the Grateful Fed with the Market Bistro out of the building through the end of the year. If the Market Bistro is not successful and we don't have a robust lunch with over $500 a day in lunch by the end of the year, then we will strictly be a catering business. And hopefully I will let y'all know a little secret. Red and I have finally decided on a house. We went and met with a builder last week, and the price they gave us was just I said, thank you, get off my land. That's way too much. So we have decided on an off-frame modular home, and we got that all rocking and rolling. So we've got a very cute 3-bedroom, 2-bath modular from Oakwood that we absolutely adore. We got a really good price on it, and we are moving forward. So what my plan is that we're going to stay in this building until I get the house completely built. This is my plan. I plan and God laughs. And then I'm hoping to build myself a small commercial building, like a little small little metal building over there that's going to have my kitchen in it. And then if we don't need to do a market bistro lunch, then I can just be a caterer from my own little catering kitchen in Nottoway and keep it moving and keep the Grateful Fed rocking and rolling that way without having to worry about daily service. So we'll see what happens. I have a plan. I'm laser focused. I hope that you go out this week and stay laser focused the thing that matters to you. Know that you are loved. I appreciate each and every one of you. And we're going to end this live as always with a little peace, a little love, and a little feast. And as always, y'all stay elevated. Until next time, I'm Tammy, and I say within an hour.